Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you're all doing well. Welcome back to our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently playing with, and that is Pollen's number 7. All right, so let's get this show on the road, shall we? Starting with the first question from Sarah. Are you still shopping luxury? If so, will you be doing an unboxing of whatever you bought? Okay, so yes, I have picked up a couple of luxury items within the last couple of weeks. I've also picked up a few other things that aren't luxury. More than anything, I've been trying to support small businesses and local businesses as well, like within the community. But as far as luxury goes, before everything went down, I did end up picking up a few Hermes lipsticks that I haven't necessarily showed you guys here on YouTube. I more so showed them on IG stories. And I did end up snagging a Louis Vuitton handbag last week. I know. I stalked the website. Patience paid off, but I ended up snagging it. And like I said before, a few other things here and there. And I'm really excited about them. But as far as unboxings, not necessarily unboxings, but reveals, as many of you know, that's something that I prefer to do over unboxings. As far as reveals go, I gotta be honest with you, I definitely struggle with wanting to do that, only because I don't think that it's a really good time to do, for me personally. I feel like it's not a really good time to do an unboxing, but on that same note, I feel like I want to try to keep my channel as normal as possible, and reveal videos are something that I would normally end up uploading onto my channel, especially if I'm really excited about the items that I ended up picking up. But I struggle with it. You know what I mean? 50-50, and 50% of me is just like, don't do it. It's not a good time, especially because this whole thing, I don't take it lightly. It's affected so many millions of people, and my heart goes out to everybody. And I don't know, there's a part of me that's just like, just kind of stay away from it. Wait until a couple weeks later, a couple months later, I don't know. But then the other half, I'm just so excited to share those items. And if I'm able to help people escape for a little bit, then I'm all for that. So I don't know. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Do you feel the same way that I do when it comes to sharing whatever goodies that you ended up picking up? Let me know in the comment section down below. But I turn to you as far as, have you been purchasing any luxury goods within this time frame? I know that we talked about it, I think 2 weeks ago. So many of you were telling me that you ended up picking up some hard to find items on the Louis Vuitton website, which I thought was amazing. But if you ended up picking up Louis Vuitton, Chanel, or what have you, any type of luxury goods, let us know in the comment section down below. I'm very, very excited, and major congratulations to all of you. I do value your advice. Again, I don't want to come across as someone that has no clue what's going on, because that's definitely not the case. Next question from Don Vernon. Has this made you look differently at your purchasing experience, or going through your collection and reevaluating what you have, or slimming your collection? Great question. And this has definitely made me view my collection in a completely different light, whether it's my handbags or small leather goods. We all know that I have items within my collection that I seem to put in bubbles, that I seem to struggle with. Maybe not as much as I used to back in the day, but I still struggle with them from time to time. And it's not only made me appreciate what I do have, even more so, but it's also made me want to take that bubble and just toss it out the window, because I want to be able to enjoy the items that I have. I want to be able to just live in the moment and not freak out, not put them in that bubble, and not save them for a special occasion, because I do that. Not always with luxury goods. I do it with other things, but I end up buying something. Sometimes it's an outfit, sometimes it's just random items. But I buy something and I always think, oh, I'm going to save it for a special occasion. I'm going to save it for a special occasion. And I leave it in my closet, and I love it. But that day never seems to come. So now it's like, no, the special day is now. It's today. Live your life to the fullest. So that's what I want to do. And that's kind of like what I was talking about last week. Not just with luxury goods, obviously, but I just want to live in the moment. I want to appreciate what I have even more, and I want to be able to use them freely without freaking out, without without that bubble. I just want that bubble to just peace out out of my life, to be completely honest with you. As far as purchasing goes, I definitely see myself being a little bit more adventurous and pushing that envelope even more, just because pushing that envelope has helped me out a lot within the last couple of years. I've kind of gotten out of my comfort zone, and so far so good. So just becoming, again, a little bit more adventurous, and also still doing research, not for the fear of that bubble, but just to try to find out if that bag makes sense, if it's something that I can end up using and I can incorporate into my lifestyle, and not just buying it just because, you know. And of course, if I have the possibility to add it to my collection without it taking away from any other responsibility that I have. But yeah, just adventurous, really being able to appreciate what I have, and just giving the items that I have a little bit more of their moment in the sun without the fear of freaking out about every little thing. Because as I said before, at the end of the day, they are just things. But once again, those are just my 2 cents. That's just the way that I feel. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. What do you think? Has it made you reevaluate your collection? Has it made you want to slim down your collection? Has it made you want to use your items even more? Whatever the case may be, let us know in the comment section down below. But fabulous question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Danielle Chamber. How do you stay so positive? I would love to hear your journey. I need some inspiration. All right, so I am by no means an expert on anything, and I feel like everyone's positivity journey is going to be different. For me personally, believe it or not, I used to be a very negative person. I was definitely a negative Nancy. I was confrontational. I would complain about what was going on in my life. I would complain about my misfortunes, and I would blame others for that. And I felt like I was always super, super angry. And I did have some things happen in my life, which we won't be getting into. But because of that, it really made me realize that I was the problem, not others. I was the common denominator, no one else. It was me, just my negativity that would end up just kind of creating such gray skies and such gray moments in my life because I was that way. It was it was very, very trying at times. I fought hard to change that, and sometimes I needed to seek out help. And it's a journey that, even though it was ridiculously hard, it's one that I would take over and over and over again if it brought me back to this place. I love the headspace that I'm at right now. And more than anything, the way that I see things now, as long as I have my health, as long as I have food on the table, clothes on my back, and a roof over my head, everything else is just a bonus. You know, and that's why back, you know, when I was younger, just again, why me? And it was just it was trivial, you know, and I had to really look in and look at my attitude, and those things that I had happen in my life just kind of shocked me back to reality, and just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. They were extremely painful, but as I said before, it's something that it's a journey that I would take over and over again if it brought me back to this place. But yeah, it's not something that I ever tried to like shy away from either. I never tried to tell people like, oh, I'm so perfect, because I'm not. I have so many flaws. But being able to really look in the mirror and really figure out those flaws, either by myself or with help, really opened up my eyes to everything else that was going on. Because before I was just like this, and I had all this stuff going on, but I was so fixated on this that it didn't allow me to really look at the big picture. So I don't know if that sounds crazy or not, but that's the best way that I can put my my positivity journey into words. But it was definitely eye-opening, and I value life completely differently. I see things differently, and I love it. And I don't mind being that positive person. I don't mind that sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, it's too much, stop doing it, because I had to go through that. I had to go through that hell in order to realize what I have now, you know? So I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense, but hopefully I'm able to give you a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of feedback on, you know, kind of what I went through. But it definitely takes baby steps. Definitely takes baby steps. But like I said previously, everyone's journey is going to be completely different. So I don't know if this helps, but great question. All right, so next question from Carissa Fowl. Hopefully I said that correctly. What are your thoughts about the Louis Vuitton Soufflot BB? I like the combo of the leather and canvas. I have seen quite a few unboxings of this bag lately. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, can you give us an update on your Cluny BB? All right, so before I get any further, let me insert a picture of this bag right now. This beauty is available in a variety of different materials. You can either go for the monogram with the natural leather that you guys just saw in the picture. You can also go for the monogram with the treated black leather, or you can go for the epi leather, and that one's available in black and white. But when it comes to this bag, I think it is absolutely stunning. I think it is incredibly gorgeous. And even though this is the BB, it's not too big and it's not too small. It's not this tiny bag. I do believe that it sits at right under 12 inches in length, if I'm not mistaken, which I think is perfect. It's also available in the MM size, but I think it is just so beautiful. I think it brings so much to the table. I feel like this is a bag that is going to be ridiculously popular within the next year. And the reason why I'm such a fan is because it comes with a removable adjustable strap, and the adjustments on there I feel are quite generous as well. It's not like you have one or two. So I love the adjustments. I also like the fact that it has a few different compartments, and it gives you a little bit more organization. Now there is that middle compartment that you guys just saw. That's the only one with the zipper, and the other two are open, so that might be a deal breaker for some. But I love how open it is. I love the ease of being able to get your items very quickly without necessarily having to zip it up. But I completely understand if someone wants to have that security when it comes to a zipper with all of the compartments. But I really like, I just really like the way that it looks. I feel like this bag looks very similar to the Montaigne BB, and I've always been such a big fan of the Montaigne BB. But I also think that this one has a little bit more of a relaxed look to it, and it's not as stiff, and it might be a little bit more comfortable for long periods of time, especially if you end up carrying a little bit more with you. But in general, I feel like this bag offers so much, and the fact that you can end up using it various ways. It's not limiting. You can either use it as a tote by taking off the strap. You can use it crossbody. You can use it on your shoulder. You can use it as a hand carry bag. I mean, on the crook of your arm. I feel like you have 5-6 different looks in one bag. So for that price point, I think it's pretty good too. So I am a big fan of this bag. I think it's beautiful. I think it brings so much to the table, and I feel like this bag wears so many different hats, and it's something that you can easily incorporate into your lifestyle. And again, I love the fact that you have different materials that you can go for. And if you want something a little bit more carefree, you can either go for the epi or you can go for the color treated leather. So I think it's gorgeous. If any of you guys have this bag, let us know in the comment section down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? What are some things to look out for? The more information that we have, the better. But huge fan of this bag, and I sincerely feel like it'll definitely end up blowing up a lot more within the next year and a half. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing just even more unboxings of this bag, or just more reveals of this bag as time goes by. Now, as far as an update on the Cluny BB, I still like this bag. I still think that it's beautiful. And the strap that it comes with, I still am not a fan, because it does come with that two-tone strap that we've talked about before. I'm not a fan. And believe it or not, within the last couple of weeks, I've been in here kind of playing around with different straps and different handbags, just different combos. And I tried on that double pink, that pink one, and I walked around the house just to see if I can get used to it. No, definitely not a fan. I still think that it's hideous, all right? But I'm still trying to see if I can get past that. But so far, So far, nothing. But in the beginning, I ended up using this bag quite a bit with the pochette Matisse strap. I really like using it with that one just because it gives me a little bit more length, and I do have that adjustment. But more often than not, I end up carrying this bag on the crook of my arm or as a hand carry bag. I absolutely love it that way. I'm a fan of this bag because it is so incredibly simple. It doesn't have a bunch of zippers. It doesn't have a bunch of bells and whistles. I just think that it ends up just standing out on its own. And the magnetic closure that it has is still going strong. And sometimes I have carried a little bit more with me. We all know this. And even then, it hasn't opened up on its own either. So it's still crazy, crazy strong. And the inside still looks fantastic. No issues with wear and tear on the corners or on the feet either. But I absolutely love this bag, and it is quite comfortable. But if you do end up carrying a little bit more with you, and if you go to use it on the crook of your arm, it can get a little bit heavy like this. Just wanted to throw that out there just in case, but still absolutely love that bag. Next question from Closet Hunter. Do you still have your keep balls, and would you still recommend them? I do. I still have my keep balls. I have two 45 bandoliers, one in the monogram canvas and the other in the Damien Ben, and I also have a 55 bandolier in the monogram canvas, and I did bring one of them out so we have a little bit more eye candy. And do I recommend them? Absolutely. Absolutely. I really like the size 45 because I feel like it's very manageable and it's very easy to use for weekend getaways, especially if you're going to a destination where you don't have to have thicker clothing or a bunch of jackets or sweaters or anything like that. I think that the 45 is perfect. You're still able to carry quite a few outfits with you. I know I did a pack with me, I think like a year and a half ago, and I used this 45, and a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you had that much space in that keep all. Now the 55 is great if you are going to be carrying a lot with you, but let me tell you, that thing gets so heavy. And I just have to say that when it comes to keep balls, I highly recommend going for the bandolier, just because the bandolier is a major game changer. It really gives you a little bit more freedom, especially when you're at the airport. And if you have to get from point A to point B, the last thing that you want to do is have to lug around this big old brick with you and kind of hold you back from getting to your destination faster, or to the gate faster. And the 55 can get it can get so heavy, and the 55 is the largest size that you can use as a carry-on, but it can get pretty intense. So in my personal opinion, I feel like the 50 is the best of both worlds. It's a smaller difference. I mean, it might seem like it's a small difference from the 55 to the 50, of course, a 5 centimeter difference, but I think that those 5 centimeters are just, it's like night and day. Because with a 50, I feel like you can end up carrying just about as much as you can in the 55. It's just not as heavy, you know? So just the weight keeps going down, the smaller you go, of course. But regardless, I think that keep balls are, I think they're wonderful. I really haven't had any issues with any of them except for the 55 when I tried to carry all of my souvenirs back and then some. It just it gets so intense. But I love the 45 just because I think it's perfect for those weekend getaways, as I mentioned previously, because it's not too big and it's not too small to the point where you can only carry around an outfit or anything like that. So I don't know if that ends up helping you out, but great question. Next question from Matthew Sigler. Hopefully I said that correctly. How do you feel about Louis Vuitton Rolling Luggage? Would you ever buy the Horizon in any size? What do you think of these bags? All right, so I do have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to Rolling Luggage. And even though I just said that I love the keep balls, when it comes to the Horizon, I can definitely appreciate them. I think that they are insanely beautiful, regardless of the size. But for me personally, it's not something that I would end up going for. Unless I had a private jet somewhere where I know that I can ensure that the item is going to stay looking fabulous for as long as possible, then I would. Other than that, I feel like it's just going to get trashed in a short amount of time, you know? And I know that you can end up using it for road trips and stuff like that, but still, I want something that I don't have to worry about. Like with the keep balls, if I have to throw them underneath the plane, so be it. It's not that big of a deal. But with the Horizon, I know, especially because of the price point, I would be freaking out that something would end up happening to it, you know? And for me personally, it's not worth the amount of money that it is, especially if I know that this item is going to get damaged in a short amount of time. And I know that they also come with the covers as well, just to keep them looking fresh. But still, I feel like I'd have to fuss around with a cover to not freak out about it. And it's just like, no, for me, it just doesn't make sense. But I know that some people love their Horizons. I know that they love their Rolling Luggage, and they're so happy about it. And I think that's awesome. It just doesn't necessarily work out for me or for my lifestyle. But I gotta be honest with you, I was very tempted when we were in London. I was looking at the Horizon 50, not the 50, and I was tempted. I was sitting there contemplating it. I kept trying to justify it. I'm like, oh, I could do this, I can do this, and I can do that. Kind of trying to definitely talk myself into it. But of course, I ended up walking away from it because I was just like, no, I have to be realistic. You know, I have to be realistic with what ends up working out for me and for my lifestyle. And as much as I love them, again, it's not something that I can justify the price point for the amount of wear and tear that it's going to get. I love the luggage that I have. I think, where did I pick it up? TJ Maxx or something. I picked it up for like $100, and that thing has been put through the ringer, and it still looks like it's brand new. You know, and the fact that I don't have to worry, I'm good with that. You know, I'm good, but I know that not everyone thinks that way. But I can't deny that the Rolling Luggage is not beautiful, because it is. It's just not something that I would personally end up adding to my collection. But I would love to know, how do you guys feel about the Rolling Luggage that Louis Vuitton has? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Let us know in the comment section down below. But great question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Hugs and Mochi: what do you think of the vintage Chanel Diana? In my eyes, it's gorgeous. Do you think it will stand the test of time? All right, so let me insert a picture of this beautiful bag right now. I think this bag is insanely gorgeous, and the Chanel Diana first came about in the early 1990s, and it was available in 2 different sizes if I'm not mistaken, and it does have that beautiful gold plating, but I just think it is so beautiful. And in my opinion, I feel like this is iconic vintage Chanel, hands down. And what I really like about this the most is you don't see it too often. And let's say that you're the type of person that you can appreciate the classic flap, but you don't like either the single flap and you don't like the double flap, and you don't really like the reissue either. You just want something a little bit different, but you want something that still has that classic Chanel look to it. I think that this is perfect. Like I said before, I think it is just insanely gorgeous. It is quite spacious, and the ones that I have seen on the pre-loved market, you can get them for some pretty great deals as well. The hardware looks beautiful, and once again, the fact that this is a bag that you don't see often, but I do think it is absolutely beautiful. So does it stand the test of time? Has it stood the test of time? Is it a vintage, classic, iconic bag? In my opinion, absolutely. And if you guys do have the Chanel Diana, let us know in the comment section down below. Okay, now before I let you guys go, I wanted to share a little bit of eye candy and just kind of get your feedback on something that has caught my eye. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna get it. It's just caught my eye, and once again, I just wanted to have a little chat about it. But it is a Gucci handbag. It's the Gucci GG Marmont Mini Top Handle Bag. So this bag comes in at $17.90 here in the States, and I kind of like it. I really like the little top handle that it has, and even though it's the mini size, I don't think it's too small either. Of course, I haven't seen it in real life. I've only seen it in pictures, but I also like the fact that it doesn't, it just has like one little open compartment and then the slip pocket. But I think it's kind of cute. I really like the Gucci monogram on it. And I particularly like the fact that it doesn't have the heart on the backside, which most Marmont pieces have, except for the camera bag. But I kind of like it. And they have a few others, Marmonts that they have with this same material. But I don't know if it's too busy. I don't know if it's because you have the gold hardware, and then you also have the leather part on the handle, which would make it a lot more comfortable, but it's also versatile. But I don't know if that just makes it look like it has too many bells and whistles with the Gucci monogram, but it has definitely caught my attention. I was like, ooh, that's nice. That's nice. And it doesn't have a ridiculous price point either. With the $17.90, but again, it is a smaller bag. So if any of you guys do have this bag, Let us know in the comment section down below if there's something to look out for, if you recommend it or what have you. But I just had to share it with you and get your feedback on it. Let us know. Let's have a conversation about this bag and if we're feeling it or not. So yeah, that's the handbag of the week, if you will. All right, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. I hope that you are staying safe, that you're staying at home, that you are well, and I love you guys to the moon and back, and I will see you later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.